Good evening, everybody. My name is Priye, and I'm going to be taking you on paid advertising for social media growth. So let me just share my screen and switch over to my slides. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about paid advertising for social media growth because as social media managers and creatives in different fields, it's very important that while we are using social media and we're having all sorts of activities on social media, we're actually seeing those activities reflect in growth, right? For our businesses, for our clients, and so on. And one of the major ways that you can ensure that happens is by investing in paid advertising. So here's what we are going to cover today. We're going to look at the right mindset for running ads. We're going to look at the systems you need to run ads on meta platforms, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and so on. We're going to look at the first thing you should do before you run any ad and just generally how to plan for your ad. We're going to go through the meta ad objectives, which ones you should use, which ones you don't really need to focus on so much. And we're going to look at targeting because this is one part where a lot of people struggle, right? If you want your ads to get good results, you need to target the right audience. So I'll be sharing three different types of audiences and how you can reach them through Facebook ads. We're going to look at some ad creative tips and tricks. Now, when I say ad creative, I'm referring to whatever media you're using. So your photo, graphic, carousel, video, your caption, and so on. We're going to be looking at some critical mistakes to avoid. And finally, we're going to look at how to prevent ad account issues and restrictions because that is a major problem when running Facebook ads. So just a super quick intro. My name is Priye, like I said before, Priye Dimadede. I'm a social media marketer and meta ad specialist. So I've worked in marketing for quite a while now, a bit over 3 years, and I run Content Marketing Babe across social media platforms. It's a social media agency that serves business owners and creatives as well. And I love helping social media managers to upskill by teaching them how to run ads that convert for their clients. Because one way you can increase your overall value as a social media manager is by offering the additional skill that is paid advertising or media buying. Now, this is going to be a practical session. So I have some tabs open. I'm going to be sharing, taking you behind the scenes into Ads Manager and just walking you through as I read through my slides as well. So let's look at the right mindset for running ads. Now, please, if I'm going too fast or you lose me at any point in time, please just step in and let me know so that I can backtrack. So we're going to be looking at the right mindset for running ads. Now, there are a couple of things you should know and believe if you want to run ads and get profitable results. So let's look at them. The first one is that sponsored ads work. So, sometimes you meet people and they say, oh, I tried running ads, it didn't work. Paid ads, they don't work. They just take your money and all that. Well, for let's think about it this way. You see ads from Instagram themselves, you see ads from Coca-Cola, you see ads from major brands, right? If their ads weren't working, they would not be running ads, right? And you also see smaller brands who have been able to grow over the years because they are investing in paid advertising to reach new audiences. So if something isn't working, obviously people would stop doing it. But for Meta to continuously be generating revenue through paid advertising, it means that it is working for people. The question is, what are they doing that's making it work for them? And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's session. The second mindset you need to have, or the second thing to keep at the back of your mind, is that the job of your ad is to amplify, right? Paid ads, they amplify, they don't correct. And I like to use the example of a microphone. For example, there's a microphone that is connected to my laptop and it's amplifying my voice. It's what I say that the microphone is going to transmit to the listeners, right? If I start singing a silly song, that's what you're going to hear. If I talk and I make sense, that's what you're going to hear. And that is exactly how paid advertising works. It just takes what you give it and pushes it out to a broader audience. So if you advertise rubbish, it's rubbish that the wider audience is going to see. If you advertise content that slaps, content that makes people want to engage, that makes them want to follow, that makes them want to buy, then that's what it's going to push out to a wider audience. So have it in mind that the job of your ad is to amplify. So you need to do the groundwork before you push out that ad to get the best results. The third thing to keep behind, at the back of your mind is that paid ads are not a magic wand, right? So you need to give your ads time to get results. And I don't mean a single campaign. You need to give paid advertising a good amount of time so that you can gather data and the system starts learning what works best for your business, what kind of people react best to your business, and so on. So you need to see it as an investment and give it time. So paid ads can contribute greatly to social media and business growth in general, but you have to do it right. So there's the role of Meta, the company, which is to put your ad in front of the people you tell them to put it in front of, right? And then there is your role, which is ensuring that you're showing your ads to the right people, you're choosing the right objective, you're using the right ad creatives, and so on. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So now let's look at the Facebook and Instagram systems that you need. So these are the systems or tools you need to run successful ad campaigns, whether you're running for yourself or you're offering it as a service and running ads for your client. The first thing you need is a Facebook account. The second thing you need is a Facebook page. The third thing you need is an Instagram account, and that's if you want to run ads on Instagram. Now, if you have an Instagram account but you don't have a Facebook page, it might be difficult for you to run ads that convert because there are some options that are only available through Ads Manager. And for you to run ads on Instagram on Ads Manager, your Instagram account must be connected to a Facebook page. The fourth thing you need is an ad account and one that is not your personal ad account. I'm going to explain this in detail when I switch over to the other screen. The fifth thing you need, it's kind of optional, but if you have a website, then you must have the Facebook pixel installed on your website. I'm going to explain what that is later on as well. And then the final thing you need, which is also optional, is a WhatsApp business account. So you can receive messages on WhatsApp if that is the culture of the audience you're targeting. So let me just stop sharing this for a bit so that I can share another slide. So I want to go into Ads Manager now. Actually, I should have gone to my Facebook account. One moment. Okay, perfect. So I'm opening up Facebook, web.facebook.com, and it's going to come over to my Facebook account. So this is it right here. Now you can see some pages down here. For example, this is my page, Content Marketing Babe. That is a page. So you create a Facebook page under your Facebook account. And then we're going to go over to Ads Manager now. But to get to Ads Manager from your home page, all you have to do is come to this bookmarks or this toolbar by the left of the screen, and then click on See More, and then it's going to bring out more options and you see Ads Manager over here. Now, when you click on Ads Manager, it's going to take you over to this next screen that I'm going to share with you, which is this one, right? So we've talked about the Facebook account, we've talked about the Facebook page and creating your Facebook page under your Facebook account. A mistake a lot of people make is creating a Facebook account specifically for your business. So you create a Facebook account and instead of giving it your name, you give it your business name. That is wrong. You could lose your account and you won't be able to run ads with such a setup. So now we are in Ads Manager, and remember I mentioned something about a personal ad account. You can see that I have a name showing here. This is my real name, and then I have these numbers showing here. Now, when you create a Facebook account, Facebook automatically gives you an ad account, and that ad account will carry your exact Facebook name. So if my Facebook name was Coconut, for example, then the ad account will be named Coconut, and then you would have these numbers next to it, which is your ad account ID. Now, it's very dangerous for you to use this ad account to run ads. And the reason is because if anything happens to this ad account, if it gets disabled or restricted, I would not be able to use this entire Facebook account to run ads again. So I would need to maybe use my sister's account, my partner's account, and so on. So that's why it's very dangerous. And instead of using your personal ad account, you can create a brand new ad account specifically for your business. So let me go back to my slides since we've talked about. I'll discuss the Facebook pixel later on as we go on. Are we still together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect. So now let's talk about how to plan for your ads. Now, whether you're planning for yourself or for your clients, of course. The first thing to do before you run any ad is to create an ad strategy. Now, you will not just get up, see a nice piece of land somewhere, and just say, oh, okay, I like this land, I like the location. Let me call the mason and some laborers to come and start building a house for me, right? You're not going to do that because you run into trouble with the law, with the owner of the land, and so on. It's exactly the same thing with your ads. You don't just get up without a plan, without a blueprint, without a strategy and say, oh, let me just set up an ad, let me just boost a post, and you start expecting good results. It doesn't work like that. So you have to ensure that you have a strategy and a plan for every ad that you run. And you must do the same thing when running ads for a client. So every single ad campaign should have its own strategy, and your strategy is based on what you want to achieve. So your ad strategy is going to help you answer these questions, right? I broke them down into six. The first question is why. Why are you running this ad? What's your purpose? What do you want to achieve? Right? So let's say I started a new business and I'm selling maybe water, for example, right? I know that I'm just coming into the market. There are already water brands there. So I want to create some awareness about my brand. Now, let's say my water is very special because it is infused. So it's not, okay, technically, that's not water. It is infused water. So I have it infused with apples and pineapples and whatever. So I say, okay, I want to generate awareness, right? Create awareness about my brand. The ad strategy or the ad campaign setup I would use is different from someone who wants to go for sales, right? It's different from someone who wants people to join their email list. And that's why you need to be very clear on your purpose for that specific ad campaign. The next question you want to answer is who. So, who do you want to see your ads? Who are you trying to target with your ad campaigns? Because if you show your ads to the wrong audience, you're going to get the wrong results, right? So, this is where you think about the people you want to show your ads to. What are their demographics, their age, their gender, where do they live, what are their behaviors, their interests, and so on. When you're able to get clear on all those things, you'll be able to set up your ads properly in Ads Manager. Now, note that this ad strategy is all done offline. You do it before you even get into Ads Manager to say you want to start setting up your ads. The third question that you need to answer in your strategy is what, right? So that applies to different things. What are you promoting? What is your offer, right? What is your product or your service? The next thing is what ad creative are you going to use? So I want to create awareness about this water. So what am I going to use? Am I going to record a video of it showing how how the production process, showing a nicely dressed young lady drinking the water and acting as if it's the next best thing to slice bread? So what ad creative am I going to use? The next thing is what action do you want people to take? So after they've seen my ad and they've seen the lovely young lady drinking the water, what's the next thing that I want them to do, right? Because that's going to determine the call to action I use. So if I want them to follow the brand to find out more about our product, I would say follow us at XYZ to learn more, blah, 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 blah. If I want them, if maybe I'm running a sales ad and I want them to go over to our website and shop, order our water or our product, then I'm going to change the call to action depending on what I want them to do. The fourth question is where, and this is mostly about two things. First, your placement. Now, when you get into Ads Manager to set up your ad campaigns, there's something called placement, and it just means where do you want your ad to show. Now, remember that Meta owns so many different platforms. They own Facebook, they own Instagram, they own WhatsApp, they own Oculus, and so on. Now, on Facebook, there are different sub platforms or different places you can show your ads. So you can show your ads in Facebook groups, you can show your ads on the main news feed, you can show your ad on stories, on reels, and so on. So you need to determine where you want to show your ad, right, in your ad strategy. Now, note that there's an issue that a lot of people encounter, which is when you choose all the placements, you say, show my ad on Facebook, Instagram, and so on. You end up realizing that most of your budget, like 95% of your budget, gets spent on Facebook, right? And if you're someone who makes a lot of sales from Instagram, that's a huge problem. The reason why that happens is that Facebook has a larger audience than Instagram. And a larger audience means more people to show your ads to. More people to show your ads to means you get cheaper results from Facebook. So, for example, you get more follows from Facebook at a cheaper price than from Instagram. So, Facebook thinks they're helping you by showing your ad on that platform, right? So, if you want your ads to show on only a single platform, let's say you want them to show only on Instagram, then just select Instagram alone. Because if you select both Instagram and Facebook, your ad is going to show primarily on Facebook. The next question, well, still under where, is your destination. So, where are you sending people to? When you run ads, you're generating traffic, right? So, where are you driving that traffic to? Where are you sending that visibility to? Are you sending them to visit your profile to encourage them to follow the brand and find out more by consuming your content? Are you sending them over to your website? And what specific page on your website, right? So, these are the questions you have to answer when creating your ad strategy. Number five is when, and it talks about your ad timing. So when do you want your ad to start running? When do you want it to stop running? And so on. So maybe if you have a time sensitive campaign, this is very important. If you're just running a campaign for brand awareness and you have no plans to really tweak it or end it on a specific date, then you also have to plan for that in your ad strategy. The sixth and final question is how. Now, how much are you going to invest in this ad campaign? What is your budget, right? Your budget determines the results you get to a very large extent. Because if, let's say, you spend $100 and you reach 5,000 people, and someone spends $1,000, they're definitely going to reach more than 5,000 people, right? And business is a game of numbers. The more of the right people you reach, the higher your chances of making a sale or getting that action, that commitment that you want from your audience or from your ads. The next question is your follow up. So, how are you going to follow up these people when they see your ad and they take action, right? So, someone sees your ad, they see your content, they follow your page. What's next? How are you going to follow them up, right? What content is going to come after that, and so on. Let's say someone goes over to your website and they purchase a product, right? How is your customer experience? And is it going to make them, stay with your brand, become long-term customers, and so on? So this is what you need to answer when it comes to how regarding your ad strategy. Now, note that when setting up ads for your clients, some of these questions, some of these factors depend on your client. So your client will determine the budget, how much they are going to spend on ads, right? Of course, you can advise and say this is too small, this is a bit much for what we are trying to achieve, and so on. Their follow-up systems, they are also the ones in charge of that. Their customer experience, they are the ones in charge of that as well. Now, speaking of ad budgets, because this is a big question that I get, is how much do I spend on ads, right? So, how much is too much or too small? Now, the minimum you can spend on ads on Facebook is $1. So, you can spend $1 a day. That is like the minimum you are permitted to spend. The question now is, and this is what I like to ask my clients, what kind of results do you want to see? Because I let everybody know I'm not a magician. I'm not going to use $1 to get you $1 million. If I could do that, I would not be here running ads for you. I'll be in Bali, I'll be in Japan, right? So, what results do you want to see? And what investments make sense to get you that result? It's not a Ponzi scheme, right? Where you spend $100 and you get $1 million. So, you have to match your budget to the kind or the size of results that you want to see. So the more visibility and sales you want, and the more people you want to reach, the more money you should spend on your ads. Just remember to see your ads as an investment and not an expense, because it's like, oh, I'm spending XYZ amount. This is a huge expense, a huge cost to my business. It's an investment. You're investing in visibility. You're investing in putting your ads in front, putting your business in front of more people, right? So it is an investment for your business. Now, before we dive into the Facebook ad objectives, let me just take a little water break. Okay, now Facebook has a couple of ad objectives. Let me switch over to the screen to show you what that looks like. Great. So when you get over here on manager and you click on create, they're going to pop up all the ad objectives that they have. Now, there's a very simple rule that will help you when you want to decide on a campaign objective for yourself or for your clients. And it is, what do you want to achieve? The purpose that you defined in your ad strategy, you bring it here and you choose the ad objective that matches that goal you want to achieve. So if I wanted to create awareness for my business, right? I want to create awareness for a product. I want people to engage with my ads, with my business and my content. Then I would choose either the awareness strategy, the awareness objective, or the engagement objective. Now I usually go for the engagement objective because awareness will just put your ads in front of a large number of people, but the action they take is not very it's not very much, right? I don't really like the results from awareness objectives in general, except when using specific scenarios. So I usually go for the engagement objective and I get them to engage with my content, visit my profile, and so on. Now, if you also want to increase awareness on Instagram, something you can do is to use the Instagram profile visits objective. So that's a great way to attract people to your page, get them to follow, and so on. The next objective here is the traffic objective. Now, this is for when you want to drive traffic somewhere off Meta platforms. So let's say you have a website, you want to send people over to your website to maybe read a blog post, then you can use the traffic objective. Now, when you have a website, ensure you install the Facebook pixel on it so that you can optimize for landing page views. There, this might get a bit complex, but let me try and break it down. There are link clicks and there are landing page views. Now, if you tell Facebook, get me link clicks, they're going to get you people who will click on your call to action, click on, let's say, the learn more button, and that's it. Their job is over, right? But it doesn't mean that people who clicked are actually going to read your blog post. But if you choose landing page views, it means show my ads to people who would not just click, but who would get to the page. They will load the page and they would be on the page at least before you say your job is over. So it's always best to optimize for landing page views, and you can only do that with the Facebook pixel installed on your website. The next objective is leads. So if you want to generate leads for your email list, for WhatsApp, and so on, you can use the leads objective. If you have an application you want to promote, you want people to install your app and so on, you use the app promotion event. And of course, if you want sales, then you choose the sales objective. Now you can optimize for sales on your website, that you get people to go over to your website and shop directly. You can optimize for sales through messages. So you choose the sales objective, but you tell Meta that you want messages. So people will send you messages on wherever you select, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and then they are more likely to buy since you chose the sales objective. Okay. By the way, I am sharing my tabs individually because when I try to share the entire window, something crazy happens. Let's just leave it at that. So the simple rule for when choosing a Facebook ad objective is to tell Facebook exactly what you want to get from your ad. Don't try to game the system by saying, oh, let me select the reach objective so I can reach a large number of people for my budget, right? But you're still expecting sales. It's not going to work. You just get a large number of people seeing your ad, but they will not take action on your ad. So it's always best to choose the objective that matches your exact goal for that ad campaign. So the three major objectives you should focus on for your clients or yourself are the post engagement or profile visits objective. This is for awareness, follower growth, engagement. The messages objective. Now you use this if you don't have a website. right? Or the pixel is not installed on your website, you use the messages objective so people can send you messages with the intent of purchasing. And then the third one is the sales objective. You use this when you have a website, or you can also use this for to get messages, right? But it's primarily for when you have a website with the pixel installed, so people can just go directly to your website and shop. Woo! Now we're getting into the targeting option when it comes to Facebook ads. Now there are different types of ad audiences, and I've broken them down into two. I've split them into two, and I'm going to explain each one. The first one is the cold audience. The second one is the warm audience. Now, the cold audience, these are people who don't know about your business. They have not engaged with your business before across meta platforms. So they've not seen any content from you, they've not engaged with you on Instagram, Facebook, and so on, right? The second audience, they are your warm audience, right? Now, these are people who have seen, excuse me, they have seen your content before and they have engaged with your business in one way or another. Pardon me. A neighbor is acting, is making noise, right? So these are people who have engaged with your business in one way or another. And with your warm audience, there are different levels of warmth. So, for example, someone who has seen your content before, maybe liked it, saved it for later, is at like the top, right? It's just maybe lukewarm. Someone who has visited your website, checked out your product, maybe added it to a wish list or added it to their cart, is at another level altogether, right? They are warm, they are getting there. And then someone who has made a purchase from your brand is a hot lead, right? That person has given you money before. So that person is boiling hot. So there are different levels of warmth when it comes to your ad audiences. Now, you can target a cold audience in three major ways. You can use what we call broad targeting, you can use what we call interest based targeting, or you can use lookalike targeting. So, with broad targeting, just give me a second. Okay, perfect. So now we are diving into the three types of targeting that work for most businesses, right? The first one is broad targeting, and in this targeting, you leave most of it to Facebook's system. So you're saying, show my ads to people that you think would react best to my business, would need my offer, would, take advantage of what I want them to take advantage of. So in this case, you only touch a few things. So you of course you choose your location. So if you're selling something that cannot be shipped worldwide, or you want to focus on a specific area, you set up that area. The next thing you would fine tune is your gender. So if you're selling products that appeal to only a specific gender, or it's primarily that gender that purchase your product, then you of course you tweak your gender. And the third thing that you tweak is your age range. Because if you're selling something that is maybe targeted at an older audience, you don't want to leave it your age targeting at 18 to 65 because you just be wasting money. So instead, you would fine tune your age and say, show my ads to people 40 to 65 years old, right? But those are the only things that you touch: your location, your age, and your gender. Then you tell Facebook, you have some information about my business, so go ahead and show my ads to people who you think would be interested in what I sell based on the data you have about my business. So that's it for broad targeting. Now, with detailed targeting, you have interest, demographics, and behaviors. And I'm going to have to share my screen to talk about this. So let me go back to Ads Manager. I'm just going to quickly create um, any campaign actually with you. Great. So I've created a campaign. This first level is the campaign. The second level is the ad set, where you do your targeting, you set your budget and all. And the last level, this third level, is the ad level. And this is where you set your ad creative, your photo, your media, your caption, and so on. So I'm going to go over to the second level, the ad set. Okay. Let's just give it some time to fully, okay? So now I'm just going to scroll past all this and go over to the audience so I can show you what I mean. Okay, perfect. We are here. So with broad targeting, like I explained, I will edit my location and maybe instead of Nigeria, I will put Lagos. So just one state. I would edit my age. Instead of 18 to 65, I would say maybe 25 to 40. And then I'll edit my gender and say it's primarily women who shop from my business. So I'm going to choose just women, right? So that is it with broad targeting. Now, with detailed targeting, after doing all that, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use what we call detailed targeting. So with detailed targeting, you target people based on what they've expressed interest in, some key details about them that Facebook has, and so on. So let me just use one simple example. When you're signing up for Facebook, you give them your birthday, right? So they can verify that you're old enough to use Facebook. Now, Facebook has different audiences based on their birthdays. So they have people who were born in November. Let's say I want to target birthdays, November. I can just come here, search for birthday. Let me add November so it comes to the top. We can see it here, birthday in November. This is a demographic, right? People with a birthday in November. This is part of detailed targeting. So I can say, after setting my age, location, and gender, show my ads to only people who have a birthday in November, right? So let's say you have a product, let's say you want to run ads for someone who is a baker, right? And you're in October. You're like, okay, in order to make sales, it makes sense that you start showing your ads to people who have birthdays coming up in November so that they can see the ad and, plan for their birthday, get a birthday cake, some birthday treats, and so on. So with detailed targeting, you come here and you can use demographics, behaviors, interests. So if, for example, I've been engaging with pages like, let me be some luxury brands like Chanel, Gucci, and so on, you can come in here and type for Gucci. And then they would add in people who have expressed some form of interest in Gucci, Versace, and so on, just depending on what you set. So that is it on detailed targeting. The last one is lookalike audiences. Okay, I don't think I'm talking about that here. Lookalike audiences are kind of complicated because with lookalike audiences, you're telling Facebook, these people have expressed interest in my business before. Find people just like them. So let's say you have an email list and you have 1,000 people on your email list, and your list is very engaged. You can upload the emails from that email list over to Meta and tell them, find me people who are just like these people on my email list, right? So you're going to now show your ads to new audiences, but those who have similarities to the people on your email list. So that's it for lookalike audiences. Now, the last one we're going to talk about is retargeting ads. And this is very important. Now, with retargeting ads, you're showing your ads to people who have engaged with you before. We talked about cold audiences and warm audiences. Cold audiences, you target them with these two, broad targeting and detailed targeting, right? This is how you reach cold audiences. Lookalike audiences as well, you reach their cold audiences. But with retargeting audiences, you're saying, show my ads to only to people who have engaged with my business before in one way or another, right? So let me share my screen again, go over to Meta and show you some of the retargeting audiences that you can create because this is very vital. People require multiple touch points with your brand or with your ad before they actually get to the point of purchasing. Things like see an ad, you're like, oh, a new shoe, I'm going to buy this immediately. Oh, an ad for a bag, I'm going to buy this bag immediately, right? Most times we don't act like that, except you were actually looking for something like that at that moment. You have the funds available and you're just like super hot, ready to buy, right? But most times you say, oh, this is cute. Maybe check out the brand, maybe give it a follow and all that, or save it to your bookmarks, right? But it's when you keep seeing that ad or other ads from this brand, you're like, okay, fine, you guys have fine stuff, right? Or they finally show you the ad again when you've just gotten paid at the end of the month and you have money. And then instead of you to use it and save like you planned, you now say, oh, look at this bag. This bag has been haunting me since. Let me buy it, right? And then you go ahead and you make that purchase. It's because they were retargeting you. Now, this is how you create a retargeting audience. You come over to audiences. If you're on Ads Manager, all you have is menu and you see audiences. If you don't see it here, click on all tools and then you see audiences. So you will be brought over to this page like this. Then you can click on create audience and then you choose a custom audience. A custom audience is based on people who have shown interest in your business already, like I said. So I'm going to click on that. Now, let's say I have an Instagram account, which I do, and I want to create a custom audience of anyone who has ever interacted with my Instagram account within the past 1 year. I'm going to come over here and select Instagram account. I hope you can see my screen. Please let me know if you can. And then after selecting Instagram account, I'm going to click on next. Now, the next thing you're going to do is to choose the exact Instagram account. So now it's already on Content Marketing Babe, which is great. And then you're going to choose your event. Your event is who exactly do you want to show this ad to, right? So, people have engaged on Instagram in different ways. Let's see a few of them. So we have everyone who engaged with this professional account. So regardless of what they did, saved the post, liked, commented, visited my profile, everybody, which is what I want. But let's see some other options. This one is people who started following you, right? Who started following this professional account. So people who are following me, I can retarget them. Awesome. And tell them, oh, you've not been seeing my content for a while. Look at this new piece of content. Engage or die. I'm joking. You can also do anyone who visited your profile. So anyone who visited this professional account's profile, anyone who engaged with a post or an ad, anyone who sent a message. So if you were running a promotion and it was for people to send you messages and you realize that a lot of people sent messages but only a small percentage converted, you can come in here, create a custom audience of everyone who sent a message to your account and then return them, right, with another ad. Maybe this time you use FOMO and tell them, oh, this offer you expressed interest in is disappearing in 5 days. So send me a message again and let's finish up our conversation, right? So that's how you use retargeting ads. I'm just going to choose everyone who engaged with this professional account. Now, retention is the timeline. How long should they gather these people from? So 365 days is the maximum. That's 1 year. But if I were running a campaign, for example, I've been running a promotion for my bundle, right? And it's been about, let's say, 30 days. Has it been up to? Let's say 30 days. I can just come in here and put 30 days. So only people who have engaged with my account in the past 30 days are going to be gathered in this audience. The next thing you do is to just give your audience a name. So you can say IG engagers 30 days, and then you create your audience. Perfect. So now they've created the audience for me, IG engagers 30 days, people who have engaged with my Instagram account. Next up, I'll go over to Ads Manager and show you how you can use a retargeting audience, how you can just add this quickly when setting up your audience. Please save any questions you have for the end. I would love to answer them. So let me just create a new campaign because I don't want to switch to the other tab. Okay, so engagement campaign. Um, Facebook, leave me alone. I don't want a, you know what? Let me share it with the other screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, I see a message in the chat. Is there a problem?
Not at all.
Okay, awesome. So let me share the initial screen. Creation package. No, it's this one. Okay, perfect. I've gone back to the old campaign since they are misbehaving. So now instead of scrolling down here to detail targeting and all that, I'm just going to go up to the beginning of audience setup. And you see it here, custom audiences, right? So this is where you will add that audience you created. You just come in here and type maybe Instagram. I think I created it on another ad account entirely. But anyway, once you type it in here, it's going to pop up and then you'll just be able to select it. And that's it. Your ad will be converted into a retargeting ad. So let me go back to my slides. So we've gone through these three types of targeting, and I hope you have a better idea of how to go about them practically. Now, we're getting towards the end of this, so just hang in there. Now, we're going to go over a few ad creative tips and tricks, right? Because your ad creative is so important. You can have, in short, you can be selling the password to Bill Gates' account and saying, come and buy this thing for just $1, and you have access to all his wealth. But if you cannot communicate it properly in your ad creative, nobody will even get the gist of or get the idea of what you're actually selling, right? So that's why your ad creatives are so important. So the first one, don't just select a random post. Like you just say, oh, I want to run an ad today, and then you just go to your client's feed or to your feed and you just choose any post and you just boost it. That is a very, very, very bad idea. It's always best that after creating your ad strategy, you now plan your ad creative. You say, I want to raise awareness for this product. What ad creatives can we test to really see how they will be effective for the purpose of this campaign? The next one is you have to grab attention, right? So if you're using graphics or you're using a photo, you can have a headline that draws attention, right? So excuse me, let's say I'm promoting water that is infused, right? I can have a headline that says water never tasted so good, or just something flashy, something that is not clickbaity, but will actually help grab attention and just stop the person from scrolling. Because when you're running an ad, you're interrupting their experience, right? I'm scrolling on my feed, looking at all the handsome K-drama actors I follow, and then I'm seeing your ad for water. What's my business? But if you're able to grab my attention with a nice catchy headline, it's going to get me to stop and just pay attention. And if you're able to hold my attention, you can go ahead to pass across your information. The next thing is when grabbing attention with your videos. This is one mistake a lot of people make. Let's say I want to run an ad. Just imagine that you're scrolling on Instagram and then you just see me come up on your feed. Hello, good evening. How are you doing today? My name is, I'm sure you are gone. I think you have scrolled to the next post, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what my name is. Nobody really cares about my greeting. But if you're scrolling and you just see Bill Gates is giving $1 million. Okay, that's obviously clickbait based. But if you just see something like that, you're like, coin. It's either you're like, okay, let me see and really see what this person is saying, or you're like, this person is a scammer, but let me see where the person is going to, right? But at least I would grab your attention. That's what you want to do with your ads, whether it's a video, a photographic, and so on. Now your videos, okay, the next thing is videos versus photos. So people say video ads work the best and blah, 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 blah. Video ads work really great, but please test, right? One thing I always do is when I'm running a campaign, I have multiple creatives I'm testing. So I would put the same information in a video and then put it in maybe a carousel or a graphic, right? And see which one performs better. I'll run them at the same time to the same audience, right? Or I can use a picture of me. And people will say, oh, look at this fine girl, and they'll stop. And before you know it, I've given them the information I wanted to give them, right? Maybe if I were using maybe like a carousel or just graphics, they will not have really paid attention like that. So it's very important that you test your ad creative. Don't just assume, and don't assume based on what has worked for another business or another client, because businesses are very different. Next thing, if you're using videos, ensure your videos are clear, ensure they are well edited, and don't use commercial music because that's going to put you in Facebook jail. So don't go and say, oh, Buga is trending, or oh, Beyonce just released a new song, and then you just go and add it in the background of your video. They're going to slap you with a copyright infringement, um, issue basically, and then that can actually lead to not just your ad account being restricted but your Instagram or Facebook page being taken down. So don't use commercial music. The next thing is to add captions to your videos for two reasons: for accessibility and to stop attention. Because if someone has their volume low on their phone, even if I start my video with a catchy headline, they would not hear me. But if they are scrolling and the caption comes up and it's saying that it's subtitles showing exactly what I'm saying, then I have that additional way to grab their attention. And again, for accessibility, right? So there are people who are hearing, and then there are people who are actually like deaf, right? And they have different levels of hearing. So if they are not going to hear what you're saying in the video and you don't have subtitles, then they're not going to get the message that you're trying to pass across. So it's also super important for accessibility. Next up, this one is for photos or graphics. You have to make them readable, right? So ensure that you're using colors that go well together. You see how this my slide, it's not screaming at you, right? So of course, if I were using something like this as an ad, I would highlight some other parts and make it stand out a bit more. But you will not see me come here and put yellow, put blue, put black, put all the colors in the color scheme in this world just to grab attention. Because it can put people off and nobody wants to be stressed, right, to try and read your graphic. And have you ever come across a graphic that is just so bad you don't even, you turn away as you're scrolling so that it doesn't give you a headache, right? So you want to avoid doing that. You also want to pay attention to your spacing and ensure that, as you can see, there's a lot of space around my slides. So someone can read and flow from one headline to another, one point to another. That's what you want to do. Don't pack so many things in one place. Don't reduce your lettering to tiny so that you can fit all the information on one page. Don't do that. Next up, you want to build trust. So if you're running an ad for yourself or for your clients, especially when you're running a promotion for a product or a service, ensure that you add in a testimonial or two. Just sneak it in there, right? It can be a screenshot of what someone said. It can be a video clip from a client. It can be like a transformation photo and so on. That's very important so that people see that you are actually legit. Next up is your caption. Now, in your caption, you can call out who you're talking to. So I can say something like, attention, struggling entrepreneurs, or attention, overwhelmed entrepreneurs, attention, busy fashionpreneurs, right? So someone who is a fashionpreneur and who relates to being very busy and being overworked is going to be like, oh, okay, what's this person talking about? Because it's like they're talking to me, right? So it's important that you call out the person that you're talking to or trying to communicate with your ad. Next up, share benefits. So share the benefits of whatever it is that you are promoting, your product, your service, even if it's just a piece of content, share the benefits, right? So I can say something like, let's say I'm advertising this session that we're having. I would say something like, attending this session is going to give you a better foundation with Facebook ads and help you operate as a service and earn more as a social media manager. So that's a benefit. Share a benefit in your caption. And next, have clear next steps. So you must have a call to action. Whether it's follow me for more content like this, click the link, click the learn more button to shop from our website, click the get offer button to take advantage of this discount. Have clear next steps for your ad viewers. And finally, use the Meta Ads library for research. The Meta Ads library is just that. It's a library of ads. So any ad that anybody is running right now at this moment is on that ad library. So you can just go there and search for your niche or for a specific handle, and you see what they are doing. You see their ad creatives and all that, and you can get inspiration. Lulu, maybe you can help share the video on that in the community later, the detailed tutorial, so they can know how to use it.
Okay, we.
All right, thank you. Now, just a few final points on ad creatives. The ad creatives you use are really important for the success of your ad, right? So if they don't grab attention and pass the right message across, your ads won't convert. Now, I know that when dealing with clients, sometimes they might be like, is it not to just choose a post from the feed? Like, don't stress me. So I tell my clients, I will not run this ad for you. I will not use this post to run this ad for you. It's as simple as that. Because you're going to, your ad budget, you will dash it to Uncle Mark, right? So prompt them and let them see that if you want to get more effective results, you have to put in the work when it comes to your ad creatives. Now, some critical mistakes to avoid. This is the second to the last thing we are going to talk about, and then we'll go into the Q&A session and we're done for the day. So I hope everyone is following along. If you have questions, we're almost there. Now, making these mistakes will cost you sales and waste your ad budget, which we don't want. The first one is not having an ad strategy for every ad. I've explained this in detail, right? You don't just get up, build a house on a random place and all that. So have an ad strategy for every single campaign. The second mistake is setting up from the wrong place. Now, it's not like you can't get results from boosting posts on Instagram or on Facebook, but as you can see, you would not see the birthday targeting, for example, in on Instagram if you boost posts. So if you're running ads for a client that's a baker, you would miss out on some of these targeting options. And there are a lot of targeting options for different businesses, right? So running ads from Ads Manager, like I've been showing you, you get access to many more features than just boosting posts and so on. The third mistake is trying to target your entire target market with a small budget. The number of times I've had business owners reach out to me and say, I want to show my ads to the whole world. And I'm like, okay, what's your budget? Because I'm here expecting you to tell me $5 million at least. And they're like 50,000 naira. And that's about, let's say, $100. And like, so wait, you want the whole world to see your content or your ad, and your budget is that amount? It's not possible, right? So you have to be realistic. If you know you can only afford a small budget, or if you know that okay, your client has a small budget, set their expectations and tell them with this amount, this is the estimate of the number of people you will reach. You're going to reach people within Kenya alone, within Nairobi, right? So don't come and think that people from America and Canada will see your ad and buy, and it's not a fairy tale, okay? So that's the third mistake. The fourth mistake is not fine tuning your age and gender. So let's say you're working with a client that sells clothes for women, right? Or let's say clothes for men. Now you know that 90% of people who buy from you are men. They're the ones buying for themselves and all that. You now say when you're setting up your ad, you show it to both men and women. Because after all, some women will buy clothes for their husbands now. Well, there are a small percentage that make up your target market as a business, right? Or your client's business. So it's best, especially when you have a small budget, that you focus on the bulk majority of people who are most likely to buy from your business. So if you sell items targeted that you know is Gen Z that eat up these things like bucket hats and those ugly shoes that they're now selling that are very clunky. But if you know that it's mostly this type of people that purchase that product, focus on targeting just them in terms of age and gender, right? Don't try and spread it out because, okay, let's say you need to show your ad to 100 people who are your ideal target market for you to get one purchase, right? If you don't fine tune your targeting, you're going to have to show your ad to maybe like 1,000 people before you will not get those 100 people that fit your target market. But if you just fine tune your age, fine tune your gender, fine tune your location, right? Then you increase the chances that the people seeing your ad are actually your ideal customers. Next up is targeting broad locations when you cannot deliver or they will raise cost objections. For example, if you're maybe you sell thrift clothes or your client sells thrift clothes and they're in Kenya, and then you set your audience to show throughout Africa. Why would I buy thrift clothes from Kenya when I can buy them here in Nigeria? Right? Or even if it's state by state, I can get those things in my state. It's not like you're selling something so unique that I know I can't get it elsewhere, right? So you're just going to have people scrolling past your ad once they find out where you're located. Or if you sell something like food, you cannot deliver across borders now. Come on. So it's best to just target your immediate areas, your cities, and places you can easily deliver to. The sixth mistake is turning off your ads too early. And I'm guilty of this sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Because sometimes you just see the ad, day one, day two, it's not performing well. Off, you've tapped it and turned it off. But one thing I've also realized over time is that the ad needs time to pick up steam, right? So Facebook needs time to start figuring out who is reacting best to your ads. Excuse me. So if you turn off your ad too early, you're going to miss out on showing your ad to those people. So it's best to give your ad like 5 to 7 days, and then you can now say, okay, this thing really isn't performing, and then you turn it off. And you can do that by testing. You test and start with a small budget first, right? So that even if it runs for 2 days and you're not seeing results, you will not feel too bad because it's just small money you're spending. And then after like 5 or 7 days, you can now say, okay, this is working, I'll leave it on. This is not working, I'll turn it off. The seventh mistake is not preparing your house beforehand. Because when people see ads, most times they're going to go over to your Facebook profile, your Facebook page profile, or your Instagram profile, right? And if they go there and they meet a hot mess, they're going to leave. So you need to ensure your bio is optimized. You have great content there. You have things that won't chase people away, like no refund, no exchange, and so on. So that when they see your ad and they come over to your house, they feel welcome and they can follow you and take further action. Next is failing to build trust. Remember, I spoke about using reviews in your ad. Also have a reviews highlights. Like this should be standard, right? So people can go and see what other customers like them are saying about your business. The ninth mistake is zero or poor follow up. It's not everyone that reaches out that is ready to buy immediately. But if you don't follow up on people, you're going to miss out on those sales. So if someone goes to your website, adds a product to cart, but abandons it, doesn't check out, don't just say, this person is not serious, come and get out. You can go after a couple of hours, go after a couple of days to follow them up, right? Follow up is so important. The 10th mistake is not running ads consistently. And I always say this to my clients, it's better you spend $1,000, right, over 6 months, you're consistently running ads, than you spend $1,000 in 2 weeks, you don't run ads for 6 months, you spend another $1,000. It's best you run it consistently. Start with a budget you can maintain, right? So like encourage your clients to invest in running ads consistently. Number 11 is not running tests to gather data. So you need to run ad tests, test your different creatives, test different audiences to see how they react to your ads, test your offers, right? And so on. Now, I just remember that I did not show you anything about the Facebook Pixel. So let me just do that quickly before we go into the final part. Events manager. So while this is loading, the Facebook Pixel is like this. Imagine that I have a partner, right? And I suspect that my partner is cheating on me. So I go and I get some kind of AI GPS tracker and I install it in his suit jacket. So now I can see what he's doing, I can hear what he's saying, and I can track his location, right? Because I'm a criminal like that. So I now see that, this man has gone to ShopRite. What is he doing in ShopRite? I see that he's talking to someone. It's another babe. I see that he has, bought some things for Valentine's and he's putting it in his cart. And then he goes over to the cashier and he checks out. And I'm like, so this man is cheating on me. That is exactly how the Facebook Pixel works. Now, when you install it on your website, it can see when people come to your website. So it can see, okay, 15 people have visited your website today. This one looked at this red dress. This one looked at this shoe. This one added the product to cart but did not check out. They didn't complete their purchase. This one completed their purchase, right? And this is what the Pixel reports. So this is my Pixel. This is my Pixel code. I've installed it on my website through Seller and MailChimp. And it's showing me that in the last 28 days, this is the activity on my website, right? So if I scroll down a little bit more, you can see that 400 people have viewed a page on my website, and the last one was 11 hours ago, right? And then it starts dropping. Out of those 400, 141 people viewed a product, 42 added to cart, 31 initiated checkout, and 13 people purchased from my website. Now you cannot see exactly who, like you will not be able to tell it's Priye that went on my website and added the product to cart but did not check out. They would not give you the profile of the person, but you'll be able to just target everyone who added to cart, everyone who visited your website. And this is another retargeting audience that you can use. So I hope that's clear. Let me know if you have any questions when we round up in a couple of minutes. I'm almost done. I know I talk a lot, but I had to beg for more time because of how complex Facebook ads is, and I hope you're learning a lot. Now, if you want to become a meta ad specialist, or you want to be someone who offers ad services to clients and you are confident that you can get them results, then I have a course that's going to help you. It's called the Facebook Ads Super Starter Course. It is perfect for beginners, and my promise to you is that this course will take you from point A to at least point M. I didn't say point A to Z. I'm not going to teach you everything that has to do with Facebook ads, because even me as a specialist, as someone who's been doing this for years, there are still new updates, right? Every couple of months there's a new update, right? But I can promise you that you would go from point A, from complete beginner, never run an ad before, you don't even know what an ad is, to intermediate, right? So you can start looking for clients, you can start taking on ad budgets, creating strategies, sending out campaigns, and getting results from your clients. Another reason why you should get this course is that it starts from the very basics. You see the way I opened Ads Manager and I was just, setting up the campaigns. I start off by explaining the different parts of Ads Manager, the different parts of Events Manager, right? So I really took time to break it down because I know that, come on, not everyone is super techy and you have to start from the very basics to really explain to people and carry them along. The third thing is that it's very practical. You see the way I shared my screen, I didn't just focus on my slides, but I'm showing you the actual nitty gritty of setting up. It's the same thing with the course. You will watch me set up all sorts of campaigns. You watch me do all sorts of things. You watch me explain all the different audiences, not just birthdays this time. I went through it step by step. That's about a 50 minutes lesson in the course, but you would love it, I promise. And the fourth reason is that it will help strengthen your skills as an ad specialist and give you the opportunity to command higher prices and earn more. That is earn, not learn. That's a typo. A client said something to me a few days ago. She said, I feel like I'm getting you for a steal as my social media marketer because you're not just creating content or creating a strategy and posting, you also help me run ads, which is something I was outsourcing before, right? Now I'm able to command higher prices as a social media marketer because one benefit that my clients get that they don't get from a lot of other social media managers is that I help them manage their ad campaigns at no extra charge. Of course, I've already calculated that in my prices, but they don't need to know that, right? So it helps you command higher prices as a social media manager. Now, these are some of the lessons inside the course, the different parts of the complicated meta ad system, how to create effective ad strategies. I broke it down and showed you, gave you a template that I use when creating ad strategies, how to target different types of audiences, and of course, I explored some hidden targeting options. I gave a detailed review of different ad creatives. So I picked ad creatives, good and bad, and I broke down the different parts. This is what this person did wrong, this is what they did right. So that when you're meeting your clients, you're going from an informed point of view to tell them we should do this in the beginning of the video to grab attention and so on. And finally, how to set up campaigns using the different objectives. Now, these are just five of many lessons that are in the course. You can watch it at your own pace. And as a bonus, you get access to my students community because I'm not just going to give you the course and leave you hanging, right? So in there, you can ask questions. I'm always there to answer questions. If you have specific challenges with maybe a client campaign or something, you can always send it to the group and I'll review it for you and just give you tips to help make it better. So these are a couple of reviews from my students. Jenny said that the course has everything you need to know, and it's just amazing. She highly recommends. And this one, second review, was specifically on my lesson on interest targeting. And they said that if somebody doesn't watch any other thing in the course and only watches that specific lesson, right, the person will make serious bank because a lot of people don't know about these targeting options. So using it is like giving you an advantage when you're running ads. So this is just what the student community looks like. It's on Telegram. And then someone here dropped a question and I responded, of course, and broke down my answer and gave her next steps to try for her client's campaign. So you can fast track your learning today with the Facebook Ads Super Starter course. It's actually really cheap. It's just 10,000 naira or $25, right? And you get the practical lessons, you get access to the students community, and you get lifetime access to this course. I have so many lessons that I'm actually, are you okay? That's for my neighbors, not for you guys. I have so many lessons that I have listed out that I'm going to record and add back. Lessons like how I price my services as an ad manager, how to niche down, and so on. And you get access to every single thing I add to the course forever. So it's 10,000 naira or $25. The price will go up on July 1st because it's been this price for a very long time. So you can get it today through this link, seller.co/Facebook ads super starter course. I'm sure Lulu will help me drop the link in the community. Now, the final part, this is the final part before our Q&A. Let's just run through a few ad account protection tips, right? So that you don't have a situation where your client's account gets disabled or restricted and then you're running helter-skelter. The first thing and one of the most important things to do is to turn on two-factor authentication. Turn it on your client's Facebook account, Instagram account, and on their business manager account. Now, on their business manager account, you can go to settings, security, and you require that anybody that is added to that business manager account must have two-factor authentication turned on. Otherwise, they can't join. So it will help prevent hacking attempts. Two, store your passwords and backup codes safely and tell your clients to do the same. No more forgetting passwords. Write them down. No more, oh, I've lost my backup codes. Save them, take a screenshot, save them to Drive, right? So you can just give them all these tips to help protect their account. Three, ensure that they still have access to the email they used when setting up their Facebook account so that they need to reset their password or if someone is trying to hack their account, right? Facebook normally will send an email like, hey, whoa, someone is trying to access your account. Is this you? And then they can take action from that email, right? Four, don't use your personal ad account. Remember, I explained that if anything happens to that ad account, it's over for you. You have to create a new Facebook account, which is very dicey, or borrow someone's account. Five, ensure that you or your client, you're using your real name on your Facebook account. And let me explain why. So my real name is on my account, Priye Dimadede. And that's because sometimes Meta, their brain just used to touch and they will just disable your account. And one of the ways for you to get it back is they will tell you to verify your identity. So you have to snap your ID card and send it to them. Now, if the name of my Facebook account is Hot Pretty Babe Priye, that's not going to match my government name. So they will not be able to confirm that it's really me that owns the Facebook account, right? So that's why it's best to just use your real name on your account. Then six, avoid payment issues with a prepaid ad account. This mostly applies to fellow Nigerians because we have a lot of issues with payments and cards and all that. So a prepaid ad account will help you avoid payment issues that can lead to ad accounts disabling. Seven, have a valid ID card that matches your Facebook name so you can easily submit that. Number eight, remove people with access to your business manager account. And you also do this for your protection. If you work in a client's business manager account, now you're done delivering the job, just remove yourself from the business manager account so that if anything happens later on, you can just say, I've not had access to this account for a long time, so it's obviously not me, right? Helps protect you. And nine, pay attention to Meta's ad policies. You can just search online for Meta ad policies, read through them. There are so many important things that would help you avoid ad rejection, ad account restrictions, disabling, and so on. And finally, very importantly, don't click on any links. You would get these emails sometimes. Copyright infringement on your account. Your ad account is about to be restricted. Click this link now to disprove it's a lie, right? So don't click on those links. Always check the sender of the emails. It's all these hackers that are trying to get access to your account. So please be very careful with the links you click on, whether in your email, in Messenger, and so on. I'm done. I'm done. It's Q&A time. So let me just go over to the community in case there's any question that's typed in the chat. But please just unmute. Let me know if you have any question. Let me know if the class was insightful. And let's just chat.
So my question is for the Facebook pixel. You talked
Yeah.
about people engaging, checking how many people clicked and all those people who reviewed,
Yes.
clicked, didn't buy. So I've seen something of late. I've been trying to run ads on what is it called? I'm trying on what is it called on WhatsApp, and there's a place, I don't know if you can see this first place here. It says, I don't know if you can see well. It
Okay.
says just run ads, not via stories,
Mm-hmm.
but via the other way, like create ads freshly. So can
Uh-huh.
you be able to track all this in the Facebook pixel, or you need to go to Facebook and create the ads there on Facebook?
Okay, so because you're running the ad straight from WhatsApp, you would not be able to track it using the Facebook Pixel, right? And that's just because the Facebook Pixel is not installed on WhatsApp. But
Mm.
because WhatsApp is a product of Meta, they own WhatsApp, they own Instagram. So they can see when someone sees your ad and sends you a message on WhatsApp. So while you will not be able to track things like purchases, they'll be able to tell you this person, you have 5 messaging conversations from your WhatsApp ad, right? So that's what you'll be able to see. Now, if maybe you share a link to a product with someone who started a conversation with you on WhatsApp from your ad, when you go and you check your ad report, it would show that you have 5 conversations from this ad. And if you scroll through your metrics, they would also show that you got a content view or a website visit from this ad as well, because someone saw your ad, sent you a message on WhatsApp, and then clicked on a link over to your website as well, right? So you can see all those things, but you cannot install the pixel on WhatsApp itself. I hope that answers that.
Yes, it answers. Okay, so another question before we round up. So between
Sure.
Facebook marketing and WhatsApp marketing, as a digital marketer, which one would you prefer best for, someone who's trying to run ads for a client?
Mm-hmm. Between Facebook ads and what?
WhatsApp marketing, like sponsoring it directly, because
From
I've
WhatsApp.
had from yes, I've had from experts on WhatsApp. Um, I've heard from experts from WhatsApp. You can run ads on WhatsApp and you can be able to do one to cash out and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
you as a marketer who has done research, which one would you think is like the best advising someone maybe who's starting out and
Yeah.
wants to venture into this
Mm-hmm.
ads industry, and a client is like, you find out the most effective way?
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely say the person should learn meta ads in general, like Facebook ads in general. And this is why. Even WhatsApp ad right now is really limited. It's limited in your targeting. It only shows your ad on Facebook. You can't run ads, WhatsApp ads on Instagram and get people to send you messages from Instagram. So it's just very limited. Now, if you learn how to
Mhm.
run Facebook ads, you can run ads that send traffic to WhatsApp from meta ads directly, right? So you can do that through by learning Facebook ads. Now, while we wait for meta ads, of course, they will upgrade the WhatsApp advertising over time. But while we wait for that, learn how to run Facebook ads, and then you know how to run ads on Instagram, on Facebook, send traffic to your website, and do so many other things. And then as WhatsApp ads itself improves, you would already have the basics. Like you would not even need to figure anything out because you already have the main foundational knowledge itself on how to run ads on meta platforms. So that would be my advice.
Okay, so I don't have any question. All the questions I had in mind were answered during this session. The class was so
Yay.
amazing. I was just like a kid learning new things. I actually avoid doing ads because I don't know how to, I don't know my way through, but at least right now I can say I have somewhere to start. I have a little bit of
Oh,
knowledge. So, I can go to my partner and say, I can run this ad. It was a very interesting class. Yeah, I can say I've
thank you.
learned a lot today.
I am so glad to hear that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
so much.
so much. Yeah. And have a lovely night, everybody.